What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? What's going on? Another installment of the Gentleman's Panel for you guys tonight. We have some interesting topics that we're going to discuss, some shows basically that we watch. So the guys are going to give their input on the different shows that we watched. And I also posted on my community page the show so you guys could be in the chat giving your input as well. Let me bring my big brother on, Captivating Christian. What's up?
Hey, what's going on? How are you, Rebel? And to
I'm
all the
great.
people of the Sun Tribe, welcome. Hi.
Yes.
Not your
Mr. Jay
big brother.
Wilson, wake up, Jay. What's up?
Oh, we so boring. I just went to sleep before the show came on. Oh my God, I'm so tired.
Okay.
Okay, I hear people say we boring, but they sit up there watching us and then have whole commentary on it. Anyway.
It's boring, but why are you watching? Because you don't have anything else to talk about. So therefore, we're boring. I'm gonna watch you and talk about you. Why the hell are you even looking at us if we're that boring?
I'm telling you. But anyway, I just had to wake up. Anyhow.
But thank you all for tuning in last week. Definitely appreciate the increase in viewership.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Guys, hey, everyone in the chat, my sis Lynn T, everyone else, TC Libra, Scraps of Hope, y'all check out each of these guys. We each bring something different to the table. We're individual people. We come together to have differences of opinion that we respect, and we keep it moving, y'all, because we're adults. Guys, what's been going on with you guys this past week, Christian?
A little bit of everything. I mean, watching all this news, transpire, and with Florida coming up with laws where you can run over protesters, basically killing folks with no kind of repercussions. Other states violate voting rights. It's crazy all around.
It is crazy. I was watching the news and I saw the whole COVID increase, how it's striking in India.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like bad over there. It was a brief clip, and I was just amazed at how it spiked up. Or maybe we just didn't know it's always just been that bad, and they're just shining light on it now.
Yeah, a lot of times that's the case. A lot of times, a lot of stuff we don't know about because we're so consumed with our own stuff. A lot of times, that world news, we don't even catch a lot of that. But I'm sure it's always been pretty hot in India, as far as a lot of other places, because they don't have the resources that we have. It was a struggle for us to get shots and things to people. Still is. So you can just imagine what it's like in a place like India.
Jay, what was going on with you this past week?
You know what? This past week has been really difficult. I lost my mentor at college, Dr. James Satterfield Sr. Then a good friend of mine in San Antonio passed yesterday. So a good friend of mine's mom is in hospice. So, it's been really tough. However, I'm hanging on in there. And I'm just glad that I could get some comic relief tonight with you all. But yeah, talk about some serious stuff. I see Claudia is in the room today. Okay, come on, titties.
Hey, Claudia.
Yeah, Claudia.
Having a great time yesterday. And thank you, Keisha Bishop. I just gravitated.
Just Claudia just made my day. Just finished, because
Okay, just the peacefulness of Truck Clyde B, baby. They be going toe to toe over there. I was one of them. I snatched a couple of out. But hey, Keisha Bishop, you know what that name made me gravitate, because it was a queen one time in my business telling my boyfriend what I was doing behind his back, and I had to shut the bitch up. So that name right there really made it resonates with me. Thank you for coming over here. But guys, so what was going on? What do you guys watch the shows? The first show we're gonna discuss is Chasing LA. What did you get from Chasing LA? Do you guys have a favorite over there? What?
what's the female impersonator's name? Hershey. You know, Hershey is becoming very likable.
I like Hershey.
I'm liking Hershey. I got a whole new respect when Hershey did that whole show in the grass with heels on, and Hershey seems like she's balanced. But that LA cast is really interesting, and I think there's some people who just need a shot in the arm of reality. They need a shot of reality because I just think they're somewhere else. You know.
You know, Hershey's a little we would call a pocket gay. He's a cute little gay person, cute, and he's very even natured, and he's the peacemaker. He likes to see everyone getting along, and he put on a really good show. Cap, what did you think of?
Hershey is cool. I like the way he thinks and how he engages with everyone and kind of gets to the bottom or root of what the issue is with the group. I do like that about him. I do believe a lot of them are quite delusional. Like I forgot the young man's name who took him to the guy's consignment shop, I guess, to pick up some pieces, and I thought they were going shopping, but it just seemed like they just used the space just to sit and talk. So I was.
That's the guy from Colleen. He's from Colleen.
Oh yeah, the one who's
Yeah, so I was a bit confused. I thought y'all was shopping, and then shopping just turned into sitting and talking. So I'm really confused at what he does. King is being king, of course, and a mess. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like Miss Van Zant a little bit with fix your shit. I just don't. It's just a lot of arguing for me. I needed to tone out of the arguing and fussing and kind of really get down to some deeper issues, and then some we need to lighten it up a bit because there's a lot of fighting for no reason. Like people yelling, and it's like, well, what's the argument? What's the beef? Y'all just met each other. Like, what is real? This should not be.
It's like Bad Girls Club, somewhat. It's like Bad Girls Club.
Yeah, but it's just like, are you doing this to try and make a spot for yourself or make a name for yourself in this already? Let the show happen. Like, instead of just jumping off, fussing and fighting. Like, develop a storyline to some extent.
At least on YouTube, we have storylines, you know what I'm saying? And we get to know each other. Then we start storming. Then we start acting crazy, but not off rip. Somebody had to do something to be off rip. It seemed like these people were just nasty right at the beginning.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. There are people on YouTube who off rip too, just as nasty, you know, and don't really know you and claim they don't like you or they don't see it for you. And it's like, but bitch, you don't know me. So
that sounds like a ZT thing.
It's an everybody thing. Apparently, it's a lot of people thing.
I'm just talking recent.
And the funny thing is, they do like you. It's funny how people could be all in your DMs and they all up on your nutsack, but then they're not attracted to you now.
Oh no, that's because you've become, for the moment or for a moment, your name was highlighted. So then, of course, you got to jump on the right train because you don't want to be you don't want to be demolished like the rest. So, I mean, it is what it is.
You talking about the whore of YouTube?
Which one?
Well, you know, now this one is very obvious. I'm talking about going down to Atlanta, wrestling, not wrestling, but wrestling and everything. Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily call that a wrestling match. When you get bodied like that, that's not a wrestling match. That's more like some S&M type bondage.
That part. Let me tell you, I'm gonna give you some of my weight because, baby, it's all like you real skinny and you got a pop belly. I'm just saying, but anyway.
I mean, I'm skinny myself, but it's one thing to be skinny and have a lot of mouth, and then that happens on YouTube for everybody to see, and you still talking about you're a boss and a bully. Where?
And I'm skinny, but I still got a fat ass. And the thing is, some of these people are built like grasshoppers or praying mantises, and they still got a lot of mouth. I mean, and let me tell you, on YouTube, you see a lot of people that sell wolf tickets. And the thing is, no, it's not all about fighting, because some people are just not worth the time. And you can
Good,
look at
they're
them and
not.
be like, listen,
I mean,
honey,
when they sit there
your
and
life is
say,
a joke.
"Oh, they don't see it for you," oh, I don't like, well, like, please. I,
Oh,
But I
sometimes
just,
you just try to find a highlight of your day to just see who's on, and you just pop in. And that's it. It's like it's
yeah.
not a big of a deal.
and y'all, and let me tell y'all something. Again, y'all, just support from my other big brother besides Christian. I look at him as an older brother, but my other
Oh,
big brother is Rico. Y'all, did y'all peep Rico?
child, I've seen every bit of Rico. Some of
I
Rico, I
said, and
never
I was
seen
kind of, it
before.
wasn't no hard though. That's what I was mad I missed. But um, I listen, y'all, and the thing is, people cheering on. I'm cool with Rico, and I don't want to see Rico lose another page. And people are just, they like to see a train, they like to see him go over the ledge. And I support Rico, and I want to see Rico win.
Right. I mean,
But next
we
time the
all
camera
do.
mishap, can you let us see all of it? Because all I saw was a damn soft shell turtle dangling, and it was quick. Oh, I'm saying, I'm sorry, Cap.
I
What were you
just,
saying?
I just,
I
you
wasn't saying
know,
nothing.
I just saw a backside and all of these things.
I wasn't saying nothing.
I don't want Rico's page to get taken down
I
either.
don't either.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
But like Rico said earlier today, it's his channel, and he's gonna do what he wants to do. And so, we kind of gotta, if you want to support him, then you support him from
Yeah.
afar. You can disagree with what he does sometimes, but if you're gonna support, then you're just gonna support. But
And I think
I just don't.
Rico, his heart is in the Rico has his heart is in the right place most of the time.
Yeah.
I support him.
most of the time.
You know, guys. So, was there anything else? Who are your favorite characters on Chasing LA besides King Payne, of course?
Yeah, King Pine. Woo.
Oh, messy boots, baby. King Payne had me rolling. He said, "You're not trying to take the queen place, right?" You
Yeah,
know.
you're not trying to take the head bitch in charge place, because
Okay.
that's not up for grabs. I
I
said,
like the
who gave it to you?
I like that Ben Zapp character.
Yeah,
because
I do love Van Zapp. I have to start watching her renditions, because it's just like, it's to the point. It's straight black and white. There's no kind of favoritism. She says she likes the cast, which I believe she does.
Mhm.
But as far as like certain things, certain things could be better. Y'all do fight a lot. It's instantly y'all met each other, and it was and it was like,
yeah.
do y'all
But she
know?
read them for
Yeah,
she
I'm with
read
Ralph too.
the film. She read the how the shooting was, how the different angles, and she said it was like, lackluster. But I think they can improve on that, because they're, but they've had a few shows in a few cities. You got to step it up with that. Just let us see more of each character, and let's learn who they are in depth more. It's besides just
That's what I
fighting.
agree with her on.
Mhm.
We don't know who you are, and she was beating the kids down. I don't know.
She said she don't care what y'all think about her opinions. She's still gonna give them regardless.
Okay, because when she read, she said, I like you. She
Right,
said, but no tea, no shade. Girl, you got to step it up. You not, She said it was like lower, it wasn't up to par.
right.
Yeah.
So, guys, Pose. The roller coaster ride of Pose. If I said I damn near ate a whole cheesecake, or what some of these content creators call bite-sized snacks. Um, I just I definitely, I was on a roller. I was sitting in my bed. I cried. I laughed. Um, guys, what did y'all get from it? Jay, what did you get from it?
Oh my God. Pose took me on a roller coaster. So I actually watched the latest episode before I watched the first one. And so I'm glad I did. But it was deep. Everybody on crack. Everybody on crack. I'm like, oh my God, who ain't on crack? And but from Bianca telling my girl that you ain't gonna show tonight because you looking skinny from Pray Tell going to rehab and Blanca's man loving her regardless, telling his mama, this is who I'm with. I mean, from Blanca at the first episode deciding to go to nursing school. It was the funeral scene, Pray Tell coming back to the group, the old heads winning the competition.
Mhm.
It was funny. It was tearful. That second show had me in tears. That second show, oh my God, Ricky leaving, and it was all over the place. It was all over the place. And Pose is it's a good show. And the sad,
and it's raw. It's very raw.
Yeah.
It is. And the sad part about it is, I don't think we're gonna have it, for any more seasons. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. And Pose for 1994 is grown up now. It's grown up from Angel and Poppy and all that. It's grown up now where they're not doing them crazy stunts, but they're older now, and now you see the younger group coming in, want money, how they are willing to fight to get their money. It's not all about heart anymore. Pose was phenomenal. So I'm really enjoying it. I didn't know how it was going to be after the first season. It was so long since it came out. So I'm like, ooh, can you re-spark this? Can you bring this back? Because it's been so long since we saw it. And all of a sudden, bam! I mean, it's coming back harder than the last time, and I'm like, wow, this is some good stuff. So I'm really enjoying Pose right now.
Cap?
Yeah, Pose was good. I mean, the few issues that it did spark for me was definitely Pray Tell's drinking, getting out of hand. The funerals, and I can imagine that at this time and this point, they've had so many funerals that they had to wind up paying for, that it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming that every couple of weeks you were burying somebody else. Somebody from the scene was actually dying. And it can be overwhelming, and that stuck out to me so much. When we don't think about the level that a disease can take out. You know what I'm saying? Even with what we deal with, even with COVID, watching so many people and the numbers grow of people dying. Some of us had people that were close, some of us not so close, but still of someone. And it's almost in that same vein that you feel like, is this ever going to stop? Are we ever going to get to a place?
Is there a light at the end of the tunnel?
At the end of the tunnel for all this? And those are the scenes. That's the thing that mostly stuck out to me. I mean, overall, the show was nice, and it was good to see the people get back and see Blanca actually have a love life now and someone who loves her and wants to grow with her. But I do
have a life too, because he's a doctor.
But I do kind of feel that
she's crying.
that kind of self-sabotage herself because she's not used to that. And a lot of times we do that when we're not used to someone just loving us genuinely, that we get scared and we kind of sabotage that. So I do sense that there may be some kind of self-sabotage she might do in this, but
Christian, I thought it was really interesting that Angel and Elektra had to get in her face and say, no, you need to let him know you are worthy. You are worthy. Okay, you don't have the education, you don't have this, but you are worthy, and don't make anybody make you feel bad. And she had to really take that into account. And I thought that was really good. I mean, as well, because now it's like I do have self-worth. She admitted that she was dyslexic. I thought that was really big too.
Yeah.
That I don't know, but I think we do that though. I think that our community, not to say that other people don't do it, but I think it's so tough to be in a same gender loving relationship, and then when you get to transgender, saying that type, it gets difficult. And I agree with what you're saying, Christian, because I'm very happy for Blanca, but I'm like, oh my God, what is gonna go wrong? Because I feel that in the back of my head of, is she gonna sabotage it, or is he really ready for it? Now he handled his mom, but what happens in professional spaces when you got to go to a dinner party, and how is that gonna play out?
Right.
You know,
I think that, but you know what? I'm willing to bet you it's gonna come out that dad is messing around with a trans woman, because he wasn't there, and the mother said he works with your kind of people. He deals he's a psychologist, I guess. So he's worked with trans women. You know, your father works with those types of people, and it's always like something with them. But I was
Unless
like,
he might have been one of Alexa's clients.
Okay.
That would be
But when Blanca came in, I said, "Oh, girl, are you a day walker yet, girl? Are you gonna get your T clock?" But Blanca, to me, okay, yes, Blanca has Tina Turner arms from her arms are like Angela Bassett's, but I think that she's come a long way with her look, and I think she's a beautiful person. But when I saw it, I was like, this mother's gonna be giving too much, because she's one of those. She's like the women of the Potomac. What's that? Housewives. Yeah.
Housewives of Potomac.
I'm like, it's an elitist. She has an elitist type of a mindset. And I was like, is he going to come out to his mother? Does his mother know? Because she took it rather well. I think the mother didn't act like how I thought she was going to act. Like, she didn't cry and fall out.
The mom said, "I knew it. I knew it." I mean, she's like, "I knew it," and that's the only son. So what are they gonna do? And I thought it was really deep when he said, "And you tell my father that if he has his, discussion." I just see a lot of growth. Even
and
with
that's going to go to our next topic, also because of that being the only child and accepting your children. I'm sorry, but what were you saying?
Yeah, I just see Electra growing. I'm just glad that Angel got help to get off of crack, because she was lacing crack with her weed. Her and what's her name? What's the one who what's the one who's Puerto Rican? I can't think of her name right now.
I don't know, baby, but she's
yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah,
but she's not clockable at all.
Well, Angel, and because she's actually on the Discovery, or is it the Prep commercial? She's on the Prep commercials too. The Puerto Rican one on Pose. I can't think of her name right now, but I'm going to tell you, I just think that it was big for Angel to go in, and I think Angel is very jealous of Poppy. Lulu. But I think Angel is very jealous of Poppy, because Poppy is really doing his thing, and he's into it. Poppy has stopped the drinking, and Poppy is really just trying to help her. And I'm glad she's gotten the help when Pray Tell was getting it, and at least she went to that counselor. And I know somebody like Pray Tell who just don't want to hear the crap. And Pray Tell Pray Tell read the kids down at dinner. Okay. Pray Tell just read the kids down at dinner, but I think that Ricky thing really just kind of, when Ricky left, and Ricky was like, "I'm out. I'm done. I'm not."
You saw how he went from one extreme to the other. He was crying, "Don't leave me. Everyone always leaves me." But then when he saw that wasn't working, his ploy wasn't working, he immediately went back to his defense mechanism, which was lashing out in anger.
Yeah. Yeah, so do y'all think that was Blanca's car? Do you think that was her man car? Because that was a Volvo.
I think it was Blanca's.
You think it was Blanca's car? Okay.
Blanca has worked. I think she's in 3 years. I think she should probably have a car by now.
Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so yeah,
it might have been his.
Yeah, it may have been his. I don't know, because I don't know. I don't see Blanca in a Volvo, but anyway. I just think that Sandra Bernhard character is still good. I love her character as the nurse, and how she really prompted Blanca to go and get her nursing degree. I think the show is just grown. The only thing that got me was Damon going back to South Carolina. And I think you told me that in his real life he had someone to pass away because it was so interesting. It was so interesting that he was with the cast at the beginning, and he was the one who was trying to talk to Pray Tell before the bell rang for the door. And then the next thing you know, Damon's gone. He's out there and he's back in South Carolina. Ain't that something? In South Carolina doing his thing. So I'm like, okay, he probably see other people in South Carolina. Damon.
You know what?
On pause.
But I think that even just seeing that I always get emotional when I watch Pose because it makes me think about people I would see passing away, or and y'all may think, how is Rebel that old enough? But I was a child and I was around older gay people, so I would see it then. I was like about 5 or 6, but I would, anyways. So, but people would be passing away, and if you didn't see a person for some months, they had probably died, and it was just I just thought about people that were always there for me, but they weren't my friends. They weren't my friends, but I still can have fond memories of them, and it's like, wow, it was something that caught them off guard, and people were just the guy that was in the hospital, and his mother came, and he was blind. Because people would go blind back then. Some of them would lose their sight.
Right.
Yeah, that was really sad. He was really funny. I like how Blanca could talk to him, and he got the mirror and looked, and then his mom, and then, oh my God, but the what's the house of what's that new house? Oh my God, the house of something.
Well, here's something, y'all. What do y'all want to answer this? And what do y'all think about that? Hey, Gail Love.
I think it's the bigger issue. I think this is the problem with church people now. This is why people will come on my platform and tell me, well, I don't understand how you can be same gender loving but yet preaching. And I'm like, the same way your pastor do it, but you just don't see it. And so this is how I feel. I just believe they've always done it. And I believe that people's lives are being ruined. Women's lives are being ruined because people are not really true to themselves. And that's how I feel about it. And to me, the more people preach on it, the bigger chance that they either are going to do it, they are doing it, or they will do it. And so that's how I really feel about it. And then also, too, I feel that there is a need for contextual interpretation. I just believe that people spiritualize scriptures and go with it because it fits their narrative, it fits their bigotry, and they're too lazy to study. So I think a lot of these pastors would free themselves because there's a lot out there. And I'm gonna tell you what. We haven't really put stuff out there, but it's a lot of stuff out there. And when you're hearing in our sector and in YouTube, young men being assaulted, and all of these things happening, whether it's true or not, I mean, I just tend to believe some of the victims because it has happened in churches and no one has said anything about it. And the sad part about it is it may not be with grown men, and that's the sad part about it. And the people who always railing are the ones again who's doing it. So that's how I feel about it. It's crazy to me. Most of your musicians, most of your preachers and stuff. And the sad part about it too, we had a lot of musicians going back to Pose. Had a lot of musicians in my hometown to die of HIV. And it was sad how these people loved them to play for them and loved for them to sing and all of this stuff. But as soon as they caught wind, it was like, okay, these people are not anointed to sing anymore or play, and it was just so hypocritical. It was so unchristian, in my view.
Christian, you want to add something to that?
I mean, to that, only thing I can add is, like Jay Wilson said, I mean, it's unfortunate. To me, I think those that bark the loudest are dealing with their own inner demons, and there's a way for them to kind of feel better about their own struggles that they go through, but use the pulpit no less, and their influence to do so, which I think can be a bad thing as well. When you're struggling with your own sexuality, and then you're kind of feeding into this hatred and this fear of the other, so to speak. I think you do your community, you do yourself a disservice. But I mean, hey, Bishop Eddie Long and many others are not the only ones that have gone through situations like this. It's just from the day and age of things being recorded and photographed and all this other kind of stuff that we actually get to see this stuff out in the open. Other than that, it would be like any other quiet family secret that no one knows about, which I think it should be a point where now all this stuff should be exposed.
Yeah, and the sad part about it is this stuff is not new. I mean, people will tell you about the gospel choirs, and I think women got a pass. A lot of people don't understand that Clara Ward, who was a mentor of Aretha Franklin, her sister wrote in a book that she was bisexual. Her mom kept her back from a lot of stuff. You have Ruth Davis and the Davis sisters. They were real kind of butch. They weren't hiding it. Then you got Sister Rosetta Tharpe and Marie Knight. Everybody knew in the gospel industries that they were lovers. And then there's a cloud in question with the caravans. These women with Shirley Caesar and Albertina Walker and all of those women. And people don't know, but Josephine Howard said, Mickey Howard's mom said, yeah, my mom was a lesbian. She liked women. And so then it adds credence to what people have been thinking all along, but there was no major internet presence at the end of the day. And so these people weren't being exposed. But if you talk to people who've been in that situation, yeah, it is tales from the pulpit. You all just don't know. This is why I laugh at these people who want to say stuff about me. If you could write stories, if you could see how many pastors are alcoholics and how many are drug addicts, and you all will be surprised. Y'all don't see that. You all see the face that they want you to see, but you don't see when they leave that pulpit. And a lot of them suffer because they feel that they're on this pedestal and they can't talk to anybody about their problems because they would be judged. So we don't see that inner working. And I just think that this is why a lot of people may not care for me, because I'm not willing to play that role for people. That's why I'm like, you need to talk to your pastor who up there is sleeping with everybody that he can sleep with and all of this stuff. And I think it's a double standard, because same gender loving men, y'all sleeping with everybody, but then you got a whole Jamal Bryant popping out children every congregation he go to.
Anything that sit down to pee, he's sleeping with it.
And nobody ain't saying nothing about that. See, that's what that's what I don't get. He is popping children. He had a whole child when he was married to Giselle, and nobody ain't saying nothing. And so, we give those things a wink and a nod. And I'm not saying that's right, but we give those things a wink and a nod. And the sad part about it is he made a vow to Giselle. They were actually married. I'm not talking about one together. I'm talking about ring and all. And then you pop up and have a baby in the congregation.
Right.
And it's more common than uncommon. Even like me, I had a brief entanglement with a pastor, and I dated one as well. But I think that this guy was dealing with a lot of inner demons. He just was. I didn't know. I come to find out later, he had a whole family with 3 little children, married wife that was back in Dallas, Fort Worth, and he was here in Houston. And the thing was, it was like he eventually ran off with the church's money and the lights got cut off. But I just a hot mess all around, but he was living a double life. He would come when they would have like the big church conventions here, the gospel conventions in Houston. He would be at the bathhouse here in Houston.
It's morning.
So it's like
don't want to hurt her.
Baby.
You would never understand. You belong to me. Oh, just one night as we slept the night away.
But the question is, once you found out that he was married with a whole bunch of children, did you continue to engage with him?
Let me tell you, to be quite honest with you guys, we messed around a few times. We had a few entanglements. But when I found that out, it was after I had started, because he started becoming so possessive because I'm so exceptionally good in bed. And the thing was, he wouldn't let me go. And I was like, okay, he's acting too possessive now. I didn't tell him I wanted to be with him. Hell, I just wanted to have an entanglement.
Okay.
But I found out that they said, baby, you know he is married. I was like, what? And found out from other people in the church that he was married with 3 children. And this was probably like about 12 years ago. So I was definitely underage with this man. I was like about 11 or 12 with him. But
whatever, Rebel. Okay.
Anyway, I was mature for my age. I had a facial hair at 9. But this guy, y'all, the story is sad because I told you he was going to bathhouses and stuff when he would come to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So, like 7 years ago, found out that he infected his wife.
Oh.
Infected the wife and him divorced, and he's somewhere in Fort Worth or Dallas now, but he was sleeping around. He was doing a lot of things that he shouldn't have been doing as a married man.
Wow. And let me say this, and you all, it happens more than not. I mean, when I first moved to San Antonio, I'm telling you, it was this fine African. Everybody from Africa ain't looking like Tarzan movie, okay? And he worked in the oil fields. And so, you know, and that's a big thing. So someone right. When you have to go outside to answer telephone calls and stuff, someone right. So I said, I'm gonna catch this man. And I said, you know what? Yeah, we started talking about church, and then he said, me and my wife. I said, excuse me? Excuse me, you and your who?
You ain't see that wedding? You ain't see that light band on that wedding thing?
It went on.
The tan from him wearing it now.
Okay.
I didn't see it, but
it must have been too dark for y'all.
I'm telling you what. I'm like, you and your who? And I'm telling you, see, and this is the thing. It's not the people who you suspect. It's the people who you don't suspect. And they go into great lengths to hide it. And it's not the New York cities and the Chicagos and the San Franciscos you should be worried about. It is the Huntsville, Alabamas, and the Montgomery, Alabamas, and the Charleston, South Carolinas, and these small towns you should be worried about, because I feel the more repressed people are, the worse they become. And I truly believe that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that people really need to be careful with what they're dealing with, because a lot of these people, you would never know. You would never know.
Okay, but what if these people are engaged in what this new thing about having an open relationship or open marriages? So what if they are involved in these open marriages and open relationships, and they just happen to bring people kind of into their situation, but the people don't know that they actually have an open relationship?
I think it's terrible. I mean, like I said, I don't believe in it. The only thing is, you know, I know somebody who's in it, and I'm like, well, who benefiting? If you all sending me $500 a week, then heck yeah, come on. I love all y'all. But at the end of the day, that is not happening. I don't know. It's just weird to me, you know. I knew somebody in Austin, Rebel, and you know Austin is a weird city. It's a weird city because it was a lot of people who like being polyamorous in Austin as well. And all that tells me is you really don't want to.
Is there more gay people that are into that, or is it straight people as well?
It was in the city. It was a lot of gay people who were polyamorous. And the sad part about it, and this is why I was so sad with Austin, because it was the educated, really smart working people who were really into that. And I'm like, I don't, you know, that boggled my mind. Not everybody, but I met a lot of people in Austin who were like that.
And it's definitely in Atlanta. What you're gonna say too?
I have a question. Do you think that a lot of that polyamorous behavior comes from people growing up suppressed?
That could be.
Suppressed?
Or even the internet. Now we have the internet makes it so much easier to find something different, or just to reach out someone in another state or someone right down the street. You can be on an app and see who's near you. And I think that people, their patience and the working on a relationship and being monogamy is becoming something that people find harder to do, from what I've observed.
Yeah, people always want.
I've been celibate 18 days now myself, and I understand.
Oh, congratulations! You did 18 minutes? 18 minutes?
18 days. Anyways, Jay, what you were saying?
But people are always looking for the next best thing. They always want the next best thing, or this is going to be better, or and
where did that come from?
I don't know, but people like to use people as placements until they're going to get something better. So it's almost like people are indispensable. And I just think that I think that may be from instability, or people think they're going to be missing out on something. I don't know where it comes from, but again, but it happens in heterosexual.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I'm not even gauging this towards gay, straight, just relationships in general, because it happens on both spectrums. And that's why I don't understand when people get caught up talking about we only talk about gay issues. Relationships are universal. Just because partners or the people happen to be some of them same gender loving people, a relationship is a relationship. People have abusive relationships. It doesn't matter what your sexual preference is. People have loving relationships. It doesn't matter what your road trip. So I just think
that Oakwood College in Huntsville, Alabama, it's a religious school and on paper.
But Kat, you definitely I think it's definitely a part. There's a gray area with people. Some people I think are repressed. Some people just are. It's easier to cheat now, so they don't even want to go through cheating. They're like, listen, if you're gonna be with me, this is what I like. And
I don't know. I just feel like you're not really giving the relationship.
So Nate said we're not meant to be monogamous. That's what Nate said.
He always say that.
Oh, Nate, I appreciate you saying that. I think that listen, I was with someone and he didn't know he was in an open relationship with me, and this was when I was just going out. And listen, he had a heart of an angel, but he was hung like a gerbil. And the thing was, I stayed there because I felt that was the right thing to do. But ultimately, it wasn't going to work. And y'all, listen, I was like about 18 then. So it was like about 8 years ago. And I definitely have learned since then about really putting more into a relationship. I would prefer monogamy. But sometimes, I'm like a cat with a toy. I get bored if you start doing something that's irritating me, and I have to get past that because that's not a good trait to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's work, and I think you got to put in the work, and relationships are not all easy. Everybody has,
congratulations.
All right, congratulations. Everybody has different things, and some people are emotional, other people are not emotional. But people get through. People have coping mechanisms to help them get through, and I just think that it takes a lot of communication, and it's an overall trait. I think people who are polyamorous is easy. It's just easy. You don't owe anybody an accountability, and all you are really at the end of the day are glorified roommates, or y'all paying the mortgage together. And it's just, I don't know, it's easy. Monogamy is not easy for some people. So
But so we're talking this monogamy thing. Christian, what was your longest relationship you were in?
Ooh, like 3 years.
Jay?
The longest.
My average were younger, 5 years. 5 years. 5 years, and yeah, and I look at those because I was career oriented, and I could have been in one longer, but I either had to make a decision, and now this is my fault, and I can own up to my truth. When Delta closed down the Chicago operations, I had a choice to make. And the man who I was actually with was extremely well off. He owned 2 dental practices. And he said, well, I will take care of you until you can find a job. That scared the hell out of me because I'm like, I didn't want no man to take care of me. And then number two, I'm like, well,
Too much power.
what if I don't find a job? It's one thing to live with somebody, but I mean to spend the night, but it's another thing to live with people. And then I scared him because I'm like, well, if you feel that way, then I need you to put everything in our name. Because what's not going to happen is you get tired, and next thing you know, I'm getting kicked out.
Right.
So I made that decision to go with career, and we were going to try to make it last. But when I was in Chicago, when he was in Chicago, and I was in Cincinnati, it just didn't work. It didn't work. So
that too. Amen to that.
Yeah, and even like I dated someone and he was like, I don't want you to work as well. And I was like, no, because I grew up around women that always said, don't let a man have all that power because they can use that power to tell you when you could do this, when you could go here. No, I'm working, I have my own. We both can have our own. We come together and build together. But I've seen women in the family that gave their all to a man, didn't work, didn't finish school. He did all that, and then he wants to show his ass and nothing.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I had problems with the control thing, and that scared me because most people were like, "Ooh, I would have went for that." And I think my eye opener experience was when we went out to dinner with his other dentist friends, and when I was listening to what those guys were doing, I'm like, "Oh my God, I can't." And they were just kept men. And they were happy and proud about that. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you all? I mean, what happens if he finds a newer model? What are you going to do? How do you put on a resume, I was a kept man? How does that look on my resume? So I didn't feel like I wanted that for me, where some people would have wanted that. It wasn't smart for me. And then the last relationship, this is when you got to learn to love who you are. And when you see some stuff, and when people don't want, I didn't want to be stuck doing the same routine thing. And I said I had to get out of this because this person was older than I was at the time. Yeah. Well, but like I said, took good care of himself and everything. But let me say this: all the people that I have dated, with the exception of this person, have been older than me. So this is the first person, and it was a little scary
here.
Yeah, it was a little scary for me because this person is 11 years younger than I am. And so that was scary because I'm used to people being older than I am. So,
and this last guy that I was getting to know, he was older than me. He's like 32. So I'm like,
no, he wasn't 32. Don't lie. Now I know that dude ain't 32. So anyway, rebels, tell the truth and shame the devil.
Anyways, this guy, the guy that had the coins that wanted me to not work, he was from Florida. And he had a reputation that I found out that he used to beat up his boyfriends. And it seemed like, because I have a little smart mouth, I know this man gonna probably kill my ass. But I was still snappy, and it seemed like that turned him on because he would be like, you heard what I said? I don't give a damn what you said. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. And I think that turned him on because I was feisty and like a little firecracker, and that got his goat. But
until you get hit in the mouth, you don't have no teeth. Okay.
But the thing was, he was like, he got mad because I was working. I had my own place. My own car. He was accustomed to people needing him. And it seemed like that's what he wanted, someone that would be dependent upon him. Now, did I get them coins? I was getting them coins when he was giving them that coinage up. And he wanted me to go, like, maybe you'll go to the store and be like, I'm gonna get me a cold drink, and he'd give me like $40 that he'd give him change back, or stuff like that. They get drunk, you go in their pocket and get you some money for the next day. That's the thing.
Okay, come on.
Robbing folks. Okay.
No, listen.
Right to me.
You let your jaws get tired from, never mind. The thing was, I was sitting up there. I was being his spouse at the time.
I heard you could dislocate it though. Couldn't you dislocate?
I heard you have a removable jaw.
Right.
Like snakes, baby.
Oh, transformer.
No, sir.
I heard you have a transformer throat. Just
But you know what though? But how many, like you said, how many women have you heard been in situations like that, and then when the man leaves, they have no income, they don't know where the man is going, don't know where the bills, what to pay, and they are just helpless. And again, I think Christian nailed the.
You have to start prostituting something in.
Well, he hit the hammer on the nail on the head when he was saying that it's a form of control, and we have to really watch that, because we lose ourselves in these people. And it's almost like a Portia situation where you so into that person, but you forget about yourself.
Right.
And I think these relationships are universal. So some of the stuff, somebody said, Jay Wilson, what about that cruise? Are you still having it? Oh no, we ain't doing no cruise until everybody get this herd of
no, Miss Julia, I wasn't robbing him. He knew I would take the money. Y'all, let me say this, because they're gonna be saying I'm a klepto. Listen,
okay.
Don't leave me.
I'd be like, shout out to Dominique, that was his name, and he went to prison for embezzlement years later. He was gonna embezzle me probably, but he would be like, you're gonna get you something to eat tomorrow when I spend a week. I said, I got some change out your pocket last night. I got a few dollars, but it got like $70, $80.
Ooh,
he knew I was going in his pocket. I didn't say the specific amount.
You know what though?
Well, I guess you were paying for it on the other end.
Yeah, but I don't know you all. I have been in really good relationships, and everybody has been really different. But yeah, you are. I don't know. It's
the whole meaning to stick up, don't it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Robbery.
Thank you, reasoning.
So now, Rebel, so you were dating when you were how young were you? How young were you when you really started dating?
Wait, what was this slip? Wait, what? How what?
How young were you?
How old were you? Okay.
I was like, you talking about the guy with the coins like that?
I'm talking about in general your first serious relationship. I mean, how old you were? I
was 19, and he was older than me, but he was into the club scene and everything. That's the guy I found that had been doing drag before I had met him. And he had a bald head, but the thing was that damn bald head and the big Tina Turner arms threw me off. But he was controlling. And my friends mess with me to this day, because they said when we were like out and he called my name, he's like, come here, I was talking to you. And I was like, who the hell is he talking to? So I didn't want to make a scene, because listen, I had been going to the white gay clubs. So me going to the black gay clubs, it was a different experience for me, because them queens that was acting a damn fool. The whites now, they would try to get you for drugs or something to think we all was selling because we were black. Right. But I left him alone, and that's the one that I ultimately had a fight with, and I wasn't even with him. And he was so controlling that he wanted to hold on to this little sugar baby that he had, and he was just trying anything to keep me. But he was still talking to other people, and he felt he had someone that was young and naive. And I was thinking in my head, nigga, I've been screwing since I was 19 years old. What the hell you think? He thought I was a little naive, little something. But he ultimately, I left him. And to this day, when I see him, he's always like, I don't like how we broke up. I'm like, hell no. He's like, what you know? First off, the one that I'm looking in front of me looked like he ate the one that was back then, so I'm not interested in you like that. and I'm not trying to trigger anybody, Jay, when I say that, because you thick, but he bigger than you. But the thing is, and he's shorter than you.
I know that your snooch is like a vitamin is strong growing.
But the thing, what?
I said, is your snooch like a Flintstone vitamin? Is it strong and growing? Is that?
It's very, watch it, because it'll take your head off. You keep playing with me. But I think that
right. Oh, Houston snooch.
I bet about that third ward snooch.
The height,
the Knicks. Anyway, I hate to get to Knicks again, but let me tell you something. It wasn't nothing going on inside of Knicks, but outside Knicks in Houston, baby, I met a trail rider. This boy was he had about 5 horses and this is country.
I bet he had horses. Was he a horse?
Well, anyway, that's all I can say. He was country, but no, it was really interesting. Houston. I'm glad I moved to San Antonio, because what you all don't know about Houston is bigger than Atlanta, and not only Houston is dangerous. Atlanta is dangerous too, but don't sleep on Houston, because Houston is just as dangerous as Atlanta. And I just thank God had me in San Antonio, because I don't know, Houston,
one of my friends got on one of the dating apps. This guy, not really a friend of mine, but he was on a dating app, and he was on the news because these guys set him up. He came to a house, and it wasn't a house no one was living in. So they got on like the Grinder or something like that, got him to come out there, robbed him, and he had to go to someone's house butt naked because they made him come out of clothes and took his car keys and everything.
Whoa.
And what I mean by trail riding too, because I know some people don't get it, there are black cowboys in Houston. I mean, they are serious with their, riding horses and all of that stuff. No, they're serious. And I just thought that was unique, because again, I had never met anyone so into that. And it was really interesting. And way in Southwest Houston is where they have all the Zydeco festivals and stuff. And it was a whole different culture. I had never seen anything like that until I went to Houston. Houston is a unique place, you all. Some stuff that you won't see in Atlanta, you can see in Houston.
I wanted to, I've always wanted to do a trail ride. Now, I've gotten ridden on a trail, but I think that a lot of times they come when it's warmer, like in the summer, because the weather is nicer. Like now, you'll see somebody riding a horse. They have like rodeos, like black trail rides are the thing here in Houston. But guys, so that brings us up to the last topic, which is Tammy Roman's daughter Jazz coming out as bisexual. Now listen, I watched Jazz years ago, and I said, "Oh, okay, her daughter's a stud." That girl was rapping, and I was like, "Okay, she's gonna come out ultimately, or she's come out already." But what you guys think about that, Christian?
What you trying to say? All women who rap lesbians? That's what you're trying to say?
No, but baby, my gator went off the chart when I saw Jazz. Now, Tammy, don't be cursing. You come over,
I didn't have any gaydar, so I watched her daughter, but I didn't know if she was going to be gay or not. But I thought it was very selfish. I mean, I thought it was very selfish. I thought, in hearing herself say a lot of things, maybe in playback, she got it a little bit. That same message that T.S. Madison was bringing forth to her. Your parents had a kind of mold for you, a checklist for you, and you may not have followed the checklist that your parents laid out for you. Mm-hmm. And how did they feel towards your decisions? So it's just like it's no different. I mean, she of course she wanted to make the whole thing about her having grandchildren and all that other kind of stuff, but nobody's saying that that's still not a possibility, even in this relationship. So it was just a bit much to me. Like, okay, girl, you being really selfish over the smallest things that Nobody's saying that that will never happen. This may just be a place where she's at in her life right now. Nobody knows if she will, if she will stay this on this path or she may venture off this path. We don't know. But to act like, oh my God, I felt like I did something wrong. It was my fault. It was like, girl, and to have so many friends that do your makeup and do your hair, and I thought that was
It's
poignant.
always different when it's your child.
I thought that was.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I thought that was poignant that she said that. And I thought a lot of people should have taken heed to that. That it wasn't a problem until it hit home for her, and that happens with a lot of people. It's not a problem until it's your son or your daughter. You don't have a problem with it until it hits in your family. Then all of a sudden it's everybody's these disgusting creatures or human beings because they do what they do. I just felt like that a lot of people had that issue. She's not the only one.
You know what? I think Tammy Roman is typical of a lot of Black people. I hear what Captivating is saying, but I have a friend who was a flight attendant with me and was friends with gay men, knew lesbian women because that's the industry. It was really interesting because I was with her when she's a single parent. So like you said, Christian, she didn't do everything that her parents wanted her to do, but she worked. And I saw this lady give everything she could to her daughter, cheerleading and all. Her daughter got pregnant in her senior year of high school, and the boy kind of bailed, but then the young lady has a partner now. She has a female partner. Her mom went ballistic, and she thought she did something wrong, and she cried, and she was worried about her grandson and all that stuff. So it got to the point where I just got tired of it. I'm like, she was with a man who was crappy, and he left her, and you don't really say much about that. But now she's with this woman who seems like she's happy with, and you got this big issue. And I said, if you feel like that with her, then how do you feel about me? Because if this is what you're saying to your daughter, then what the hell you think about that? You got all these friends. And so I think, like you said, it's okay when it's somebody else's kid. It's okay when it's somebody else's, but then when it comes to my child, then it's like, okay, I feel bad. I think Tammy was being real. I think she was just sharing her truth of how she felt. I'm just glad that Madison is
Thank you.
Smart enough to ask the tough questions and kind of give her opinion. But I thought Maddie kind of did a really good job of kind of bringing her to reality. So I enjoyed it, though. I enjoyed the realness. I would rather for her to tell the truth, to sit there and act like she was all good with it and everything, because, she wasn't. And again, it's society. We only think that a family unit could be a man and a woman and nothing else. Like people can't adopt or people can't have kids, So I just think that it's narrow thinking. So I'm just glad that Maddie was there to kind of bring some things in perspective.
And you know what? I think that, but let me say this. I have to put myself into a parent's shoes, because if that, for instance, if that's your only child, or do you want grandkids, it's selfish. But the reality of it is people have children because sometimes they want to pass their genetics on. They want to be a grandmother or grandfather one day. So I can understand how that could be a blow to a parent, because that's not the fairy tale that they wanted you to live. They wanted you to live. Now, I dance to the beat of my own drum, of course, but I'm just putting myself in someone else's shoes as a parent. How would I feel? I think it is a bit much, especially if your child is transitioning and becoming trans. That's a lot for a parent to one day start, like T.S. Madison transferred in front of her mother, and she became her daughter. That is a lot for a traditional mother. Her mother, is she Haitian or she's from the islands? Or Miss Mary is from I don't know if it's Haitian or something else that TS said before, but old school black people, one day people will be more open. But even like, I remember me telling my father about, and he was like, "You don't want to be, so you want to become a woman? You don't want to become a woman, do you?" Now his uncle was gay, and his uncle did start transitioning to become a woman, but my uncle had to go to California because my great grandmother was such a troll that she was always into church, but just was very unloving. So she put him out when she found out he was gay. He had always been feminine, but the thing was with my family, my mother and my father, they all grew up together as children. But they told the stories about my uncle. His name was Leonard. They told a story about Leonard that he was a little nasty little boy, like humping on the girls and everything. And I think maybe he was just acting out. But his mother, she put him out. He was one of the early casualties in the AIDS epidemic when it first hit. So he passed away in the late 80s. But she didn't accept her son being trans. Even when my uncle passed away, she buried him in a suit like a man when he had been living his life as a woman, breast and everything.
Wow. Well, Rebel, I have a friend now, and she's very evangelical, and we kind of knew her daughter, who's her son now, was, gay, but the trans situation was really a step forward. But this girl, as a woman, brilliant, did things, just smart. So after she finished basic training in the Air Force, she transitioned. And it was hard, but I never forget my friend saying that I have a son and I had a daughter, but she said, I would rather have a son who's alive than a daughter who's dead in the casket. And it took a while, but I was surprised because this is the thing. She was really religious, but she was good with what had happened, where the other friend from the same area, from the same state, was not religious, but all of a sudden got real religious. And I found that to be really odd because I would have thought that the person who was non-religious had a child out of wedlock would be more receptive. And it seems like she was more resistant. And the woman who had the child with her husband, church-going lady, would say, I don't have nothing to do with this, but yet she was the one who embraced her daughter and had a son now and has a good relationship. And the sad part about it is she went through with the church. A lot of people who used to call her don't call her anymore. And she said, I am not going to throw away my child because you all have issues with it. And she is the same person. Just graduated from UK, still doing the same thing, still making and setting records and working at the White House now in areas of diversity, equity, and inclusion. So I'm still seeing good things come from this person, but now he feels rather that this is who I am. Period. And very comfortable with it. So I just think that I just think Tammy is being real though. I just think Tammy is being real. And
she experienced being with a woman before.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. I tell people I never get a woman caught her daughter having sex at 13 and she almost had a heart attack.
All of us.
And you know what? You know what I asked her? I said, "When did you stop having sex out of wedlock?" And it was crickets. So you could be hell on wheels, but yet now your daughter's giving you the same thing your mama probably had to deal with you, and now it's an issue. But then how quickly we forget how we were. I know, and that's the thing that I really hate with a lot of church people, and this is why I kind of have some issues with the church. I know a sister saw somebody with some Daisy Dukes on, and she was really judgmental. I'm like, weren't you the one hunching behind the bleachers Did they catch you?
Again, who hasn't done that?
Okay, who didn't they catch you in the car in the parking lot getting banged out, and now all of a sudden you this deep person now, but yet you forget that at some point in time you were wearing hoochie shorts and doing all this kind of stuff. So why can't you have compassion with that person who you deem as, you know, unsanctified? Don't forget though, we went to school in high school together. And I know you. I know your works. And I hate to throw it up in your face.
I know your works.
Yeah, I know your works. Girl, they was hot. They was hot and cold all at the same time. You was giving much love.
Oh, right. Okay.
And again, went to a Pentecostal church, strict mama, but was wild as hell.
My cousins did that. They would change clothes. They would go to school with them skirts and stuff on and get to school and change into shorts or like, you know, some little tight pants. I would have left the skirt on for easier access personally, but they put pants on. And I think that even when I came out, well, aside from that, when my cousin came out, his mother who married my uncle was asking him, did I touch on him?
Wow, that's deep. That's deep.
Now, keep in mind, I had never been around him like that, but he was like, no. And this same mother of his used to tell people, like tell my uncles, I think those gay people dropped him off. Those gay men. He hanging with those gay men. He hang with them punks. She would say that about me. And baby, when her son came out, he kicked the door off the closet. And he was bringing his, you know, remember when we was on Armand's show and I said about my cousin that was in Houston that Armand knew? It was that cousin that his mother was telling my uncles as if they were going to chastise me or something, but my mouth was too sharp, so they weren't going to try to say a damn thing to me. But she would tell them stuff and it would get back to me. But when her son came out, she had a problem so much. She started getting other family members to talk to him, to make him change those ways because that was a demon in him. No, something was in him, but it wasn't a demon. And she was sitting up and he had a boyfriend and everything. His boyfriend was doing shows like Hershey. He was a boy, but he would go do shows. He would do Beyonce numbers. He came to my grandmother's house. My family embraced this boy with open arms. They would ask, when him and my cousin broke up, they were still asking about Carrie, which was the boy that Carrie passed away. That's what me and Armand was talking about that. But his mother had such a big issue with gay people, then found out she had swam in a lady pond some years ago. She was dealing with a stud. But she was straight still. She wasn't gay. She was just getting her carpet munched, but she wasn't a lesbian.
It's just like the people in prison, you know, we ain't gay, we just do it.
I guess.
Right. You're not gay, but when you were using Kool-Aid for eyeshadow and you going by Precious in prison. Patrick.
Yeah, I just think
you gotta do what you gotta do.
I just
I know that's right, because I know I would have been in there doing it.
Yeah, I think things mixed with mental health, Black people already a press group, and then this comes along and it's always like, okay, you know, it's hard enough that you're a Black man or Black woman. Now you are a same gender loving Black man and same gender loving Black woman, so it's going to be harder and all of this stuff. And again, that's where it comes with the pose thing again, the people self-medicating and all of this stuff. It's just I don't know, and this is why people have to be strong. This is why I have a problem with some parts of Chasing LA, because this is the stereotype. You know, we don't show those people who are going to medical school or working in their profession and not always trying to stunt. Everybody's not about a stunt. And I just think that that's the problem. Just like Black people don't want to be seen in one dimension, right? Being a hooker or selling drugs. You know, we got Black people who are living wealthy in Prince George's County and parts of Atlanta, Baldwin Hills, and Los Angeles. We have people who are really doing the thing, but we don't see that enough. And it's just like Rebel, you're saying that your aunt thinking that you doing something, but yet, you're working and you go to work just like everybody else. You pay your taxes just like everybody else. So I just have a problem. Again, we give these people a pass who are heterosexual. They can sleep with everybody and nobody says nothing. They can have 4 and 5 children, but they taking care of their children. And here, we ain't producing like children like that. And I'm like, but yet they are bringing folk into this world who some of them don't even take care of. And so I just have a problem with the double standard. I don't share my personal life with people as far as what I do, but I hear men and women talking about their exploits and who they banged and who he did this to me. And I'm like, but then you get grossed out when somebody even hold hands at the job. So
yeah. They're grossed out.
Nate is really something else. Nate sounds like Fleece Jackson at the Kentucky State Prison. He said, "I like you, and I want you."
I was waiting on you at the door.
You can do it the easy way, or you can do it the hard way.
Right.
Please thought he was the man. Okay?
I like jelly. I put jelly on.
He put what?
He said he put jelly on it. He like jelly, is what the man said.
Oh my God, Fleet Jackson was no joke. He was no joke. And then I saw you coming through the door was really funny. You're dusty. You're dusty.
Yeah. Your hair's uneven.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That was funny. But you know what the thing is, a lot of people do, and even like when we were saying about Pray Tell, it's people like Tammy Roman's daughter. Maybe Tammy, but I have to give kudos to Tammy. She was real and raw, and she spoke truth. She didn't sugarcoat it. She said, yes, I felt disappointed. I felt like, I wouldn't have grandkids.
Right.
Yeah.
But just like, okay, what if she would have been that mother and said, no, you're going to get out. I don't want to have a relationship with you. And that child said, well, I was just going through a phase. That child may turn to drugs or alcohol just as a way of self-medicating, to use that as a form of escapism. I'm going to escape and be in this whole, I'm going to be in this I'm going to be under the influence all the time so I don't have to face the realness of what I'm going through. That's why people get married to be abusive. A lot of those guys that are abusive to women is because they don't want to be with the woman and they're trying to make their families happy.
Yeah. I think the family unit is very critical, and I think a lot of people don't have that support. Right. When we were watching them, the white man who was actually with that woman because he was just trying to hide. But I think it's good when you have support of your family, even if church people have issues. Your family. So I love my family. I love how my family supports, and which is really interesting because they are evangelicals. I mean, they're Black evangelicals for the most part. So, but I just like how they're very supportive. And I think this is where people in the LGBTQ community need to encourage people to do some things. And again, now I have been accused of this, but I think some of these younger guys, instead of people trying to prey on them, they need to be telling these young men, go to school.
Yeah.
I never forget, I was in Ohio and I know some older dudes were trying to kind of really, I never forget, I told this young man, I said, you see what they're doing? They're playing dominoes, smoking weed, and drinking. Right. I said, you'll be right there with them. I said, now, I don't care if you're going to be a whore, at least be a whore with a degree. At least be a whore with active income or have a trade or something you can do. Because what you don't and all these people want to do is bring you into this vortex. And it's not only gay men, it can be heterosexual people as well. Like you said, Christian, relationships are relationships regardless. But my thing is, we have to look after these youngins, and that's one thing I can like about Pose is really looking at these youngins and say, you got to do better. You really need to do better. One thing I can say about Blanca on Pose is she really pushed those kids to do better. You can do better. You know, you need to get to this dance class. You need to be doing this. And I think that's the biggest thing. And that's why it was so crazy that Pray Tell started dating that boy, because they felt like he violated that, which I get. And so I just think that that's a big thing. I really stopped dating a lot of younger guys because I'm like, you know what? I don't know if these younger guys are liking me because of me or they need a daddy. But let me, you know, because like I said, it don't matter if you old, because these young boys and girls will come up to you and they will tell you. And what's different with these young kids now? They don't have no fear. They are real bold.
And you know what? And I was going to show. This was a picture. Well, I'm not going to show the face of the person. My mother and my boyfriend, when we would go over to the house, and that would be me and him and her. My mother loved him. Would always ask him, ask me, where is he at? And I'm like, Mom, I'm not with him anymore. She was always like, when my friends would call, she'd be like, Michael called. And I'd be like, Mom, that's just a friend of mine. That's not somebody I'm seeing. So it was always, my mother always was, she told me, like, when my lease was up and I was looking to get something early on, she was like, if y'all want to stay here, because she had 2 extra bedrooms. She was like, y'all, and I was like, no, I don't want me and my boyfriend living with you. Because she wanted, if I wanted to save to get a place, buy a house, do anything, she wanted me to be there. She didn't want her son, out in them streets, prostituting or anything, because they would be after me.
Yes, because you got them prostitution type legs.
No, because my cakes are fat. That's why.
Whatever. Okay. Over there.
Jealous much.
On fan. But moving right along. But let me
about
that. But you know what though? Let me tell you something. I thought my dad was funny because my dad is old school, and I never forget. He was like, "Well, tell Matthew." I said, "Who's Matthew?" Finally he did get the name right, but he did. Oh my God, he was making everybody name up. But I just thought he was trying. He was trying, and so that's good for that. But I feel the same way, and I think Tammy will get it. At least she's trying. At least she's making the effort to talk about it and do something. And at least she can even look at Cynthia.
Yeah.
Cynthia, she wanted her daughter happy. So I didn't see that coming either.
I was blindsided by Noelle. That blindsided me.
I didn't see
Jazz, not so much so.
See, I don't really know Jazz, and Jazz was a little made up in the picture you showed. So it was a little
and
made up.
Also be made up.
But you know who I think that's really interesting, and I think that she likes men, but I think that she'll eat a snooch if she had to. Is what's the lady who was on Saturday Night Live? The real tall,
the big black
Leslie
Nelson.
Leslie, what's her name? The one who has the commercials now.
Is it Leslie Nelson or? Nelson?
I can't think of her name now.
She was in Ghostbusters also.
Yeah. Look like she can play some basketball. Look like she's like a man. It seems like she likes men, but she seems like she's very fluid. Look like she can just go with the flow.
Apparently, she's dating a white woman at the moment.
A what?
Apparently, she's dating a white woman at the moment.
Leslie Jones.
Okay.
Leslie Jones.
Leslie Nielsen was the white comedic actor. Okay.
She's gay. She's been out. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know she had been out. I didn't know that. But some women, and this is the thing, some women just give you that, but they may not be. I really didn't know.
But it's more acceptable for women to be gay now.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I was looking at countries, you all, and it seems to be very acceptable in Brazil too. Very fluid.
I like that.
She does supermarket sweep. Yes, she does supermarket.
Does she? Check that.
Guys, well, so y'all, we've been on for a minute, what, an hour and 15,
Hour
20 minutes?
24 minutes. That's okay.
Hour 24 minutes. Okay, I was looking up here. So guys, what do you have coming up this week? Captivating, what you have coming up?
Nothing much coming up this week. Just preparing to deal with Mother's Day because that's coming up. And just chill. Just chill. Nothing.
Jay?
Well, unfortunately, my mother's not here anymore, but I am going to go see my partner's mother. So we're going to be going to where she lives to see her. I am going to be seeing what's going on YouTube. I've kind of been absent because I'm working on a proposal for diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it is really, in my line of work, has been really big, especially being the only Black person. And now they want you to come up with, what do you see? And so I'm working on the diversity, equity, inclusion problem. And I always ask people who's not at the table. That's who's not at the table, and who's not at the table needs to be at the table. And so I'm really working hard on that. And hopefully they will hire some more African Americans, not only in middle management, but in upper management. And so there's diversity in all parts of management. I'm noticing with a lot of companies, they'll give Black people still not skilled and unskilled jobs. But when it comes to management, they don't want to do that. And it's across the board. It's in healthcare, it's in corporations, and it's in churches. So I'm going to really be working on that. So I'm going to be doing that project, and it's due on Friday of next week. So I'll be really working on that.
And that's something that all of us have lost our mothers. For my family, we have a cemetery that my great grandparents donated to the church for their family. So for us, so we go there and put flowers on our grandmother and my mother's grave and my aunt that passed away. So we do that on Sunday, but I'll be out of town. My friend is having a big birthday bash right outside of Houston. So we're doing that for a couple of days. I'm trying to get my place ready for Kai. He'll be here next week. And me and my brother had words. And let me tell you, I want to call him an ML, but I love my brother. We got into it because he telling me I was doing too much. Because I said, I'm going to have balloons. I'm going to have balloons in the front yard saying it's a boy. And I am going to have a baby shower, and I'm sending the invite to a baby shower. So my brother trying to be cute, like, you don't think that's a bit much? Hold up. Aren't you the same person that be putting some damn bathing suits and little tutus on your dog, that little bald head wench that's running around your house? He got a little Pomeranian. Well, he got 8.
But it's a little different getting clothes for your pets than to have a whole.
This wench be having tutus on a little
shower. Though.
I think it's good though. I think it brings people together, and COVID has been been such a downer that people will go to it. I would go to it. I mean,
and that's the thing. And even y'all, so most of my friends was like, yeah, that's a good idea, because I was trying to pick colors out so the balloons will be in the front yard, because my neighbors, the white folks love your dogs, so they
they will love it. They will love it.
So my neighbors, funny, because they had some pygmy goats and they were babysitting them, and I was outside and I went and they were like, come and rub the pygmy goats. I'm like, I've dated a few old goats, but I've never had a pygmy goat. But me and my brother, I think we're gonna be on the better footing, because I almost cursed him out because you don't tell me, because I'm gonna be getting a baby, my little fur baby, that I can't have a baby shower, and you have all these 8 babies over there tearing your damn house up.
So, Rubber, when you having this puppy shower?
Yeah,
it's gonna be. Kai's gonna be here next week, and I'm gonna do it like the following week. So yeah,
I didn't get an invitation. So Lynn T already said you can drive there, Jay. I'm like I said, but I didn't get no invitation.
Okay, I'll be sending because.
So Lynn, I can't go.
I'll get my moderators are going to help me with the baby shower invites. Thank you, Lynn T, and just as well. But and I'm trying to pick colors. So he's a red healer, so I'm gonna have like blue or even like maybe green. So we're gonna have cake and everything. And my friends, they're like, "Can we bring?" No, you can't bring your dogs because you can't
Why?
have because when you have a puppy that age is not healthy, they can catch parvo or something. You need to wait till they're 4 months to have them, because that's their first round of shots that you have to have in their
So why
system.
don't you wait to have the shower then?
No,
No, well,
I'm not trying to do
I don't
that.
want everybody dog at my house.
Poop all everywhere. You scooping stuff up.
No,
What's the point of a puppy shower if
and
the
you know what? But then again,
puppy?
I may do it at the park because we have the big park down the street, and they have a dog area. But I may just have a certain little area that they can bring. But no, I want to do it sooner than that. So I told them, and my sister gonna tell me, "Oh hell no," because I said I wanted to get something from Neiman's or Saks, like a little collar. And she talking about B. This wench called me a B. She said, "B, I'm gonna go to Walmart or Target."
Right. I'll go to the puppy place with this.
You know what though, Rebel? I don't know. I'm like, do what you got to do because nobody can tell you how to celebrate this puppy.
So
You know,
yes, because I got his little. Listen, I done bought him a bunch of toys, and DJ is the godfather, and one of my friends, I asked her to be a godmother. She agreed, and yes, I'm that gay person. Yes, but I'm not gonna
well, you
put him
know
on
they
no
gonna
damn
eat you up
clothes.
tonight, baby. They gonna eat you up tonight, having
I ain't
stuff
put.
and
I
stuff.
ain't putting him on no clothes, but he's gonna have a
Yes,
baby
yes, you
shower.
will.
You know
But
what?
Soon
I,
enough, you gonna have clothes, everything. Y'all gonna have matching outfits and all types of
I
shit.
love to see a bulldog in a sweater though. I think that
you
is
see a few of them on YouTube every day.
Oh, oh,
But guys, so I've had a great time on here tonight. Who's hosting next will be Jay.
yes.
okay.
And
Okay.
Christian, I'll be getting in contact with you about what we need to do. So yeah, because that's what we may need to do, but we'll talk about it. But yeah,
Yeah.
so you all and the show is a little bit more organic, as you all can see. We're just talking about issues that really affect us, and I'm enjoying it. So we gonna throw a little shade and everything, but for the most part, I think that's very important because we have a lot of people in our chat who have same gender loving kids. In the LGBTQ plus community, we have a lot of people who are transgendered and they have transgendered daughters or sons. So I know this is not everybody's but this is why we're on here. And so we just want to get more organic, and this is what we're doing. And this is a conversation. This is our conversation. So we're very conversational, and we're going to be talking about some issues that are relevant to the community and what LGBT and in the greater world. So we just want you all to know that. But I appreciate you all for sticking with us and coming in on tonight. And so I will see you all on Thursday on my channel. And we do have a surprise coming up. We can't tell you what it is, but we're excited about it. And so once it happens, you'll see the difference. You'll see the difference, though.
Guys, we're gonna be out. See you next week. Jay Wilson's platform. The Rider Lives. Peace, y'all.